Hey, just sitting here another week, and I believe we are on week 9 of the quarantine. 9 weeks. This has been going on. I believe this is the 5th week of just sitting here, maybe more. Whatever. It's been fun, having fun. There's been some content, or at least I'm searching for content. But we had Money in the Bank last night for all you wrestling fans. We'll recap that at some point. The Patriots made a Hall of Fame announcement today that just came out within the hour. So we'll break that down in just a little bit. And the Jordan documentary continues. More stuff from last night's show and a lot of other stuff going on in the world that we'll bring up on the show today. My guest today will be Mason Sousa. He is from 98.5 The Sports Hub. He also does a television show called Straight Facts, homie. I believe we'll bring him in just a minute here. And of course, all our shows, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, the numbers are huge. Like I took a look this weekend, and every people are listening. So I appreciate it. The point of this is to do it live to get people to chat in. So there is a comment feature. I believe on Facebook, you just go to the post and you write it. And I think it's the same thing on Twitter. But yeah, there's a feature. You just chat right in. So anything you guys want to talk about or disagree with or bring up a conversation during the show, just do it right there. But appreciate everybody for helping out. I kind of started this as something to do during quarantine and stay busy. And I'm glad people are joining the show and getting into the conversation. So it's a new week, and let's bring in my guest today. His name is Mason Sousa.
It's a new day. Yes, it is, Joe. Dude, it's a pleasure to be sitting here with the one and only Joe Murray. I appreciate it. You said 9 weeks of quarantine. It feels like 9 years. It's ridiculous.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's funny. Today I woke up and hang on a second. How long did you cry after TB12 left?
Who, me specifically?
Or yeah, that's a good question. I don't know where that came from. I mean, I don't know if that's like our leadoff take on the show today. We'll get back to that one.
Sure.
But his name is Mason Sousa. He works over at 98.5 The Sports Hub. He does a TV show, and we'll tell you about that coming up in a little bit. He's got the Sousa T-shirt in the background.
Yeah, this is this over here. This is Taunton Gladiators, so semi-pro for a hot second.
You played? Cool. Yeah, dude.
I played punt return maybe 2 or 3 times, but I got a ring.
Wow.
So and then I got the hell out of there.
Yeah, Hyde Park Cowboys over here. I coached the Pop Warner team. And
no kidding. I didn't know
they were
that.
like, "Hey, why don't you?" And I'm like, "Oh, geez," but it's fun. And people don't get that. I mean, there's no insurance. That's what sucks about it, right? Like if you're gonna play, dude, like it's at your own risk.
Exactly. Yeah.
But semi-pro is definitely fun. So there you go, 87. Look at you rocking the. I was a lineman.
It was a Gronk. You were what, D tackle?
Both ways, center. I ended up playing center. They told me I was too small. At 6'3", 320, I was too small to play tackle.
That's ridiculous. They were talking semi-pro. What, are guys 6'7", 6'8" coming in?
No, dude, they were like 6'5", 350 pound.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Who could run like 4.9 40s?
Jesus.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I mean, we had some freaks. I think 1 or 2. I remember one guy in particular. He was a freak, and he was the classic, like, everything's given to me, I'm not showing up to practice. And it was I remember the coach, not to besmirch anyone on that team from, when did I do this? I think I was 18. So this was over 10 years ago now.
Wow.
Like first thing, like if you don't practice, you don't play, the whole cliche. And this dude, he was like Dwight Freeney-esque, this guy. And he didn't show up to any practice, and of course he got all the playing time. So I'm like, this is nice coaching here. But anyway, it was a good time.
That's how it works. Practice, what's that? Anyways, Mason. So I've been asking every guest on the show, if there was one person that you could be quarantined with at your place of employment, who would be that person?
There's a lot of guys that come to mind. Obviously, there's Matt McCarthy's funny dude. Tim McCone's great. My boy Jeff Williams is great to talk to about wrestling and everything else. But the guy that is ahead of the pack is Sean Silver. It's got to be. I mean, we have a blast when we do Celtics games, Celtics post games. He can, obviously, I know you guys can too, but he is a historian of like the 80s wrestling that I know nothing about. And he, for some reason, like checked out like right as the Attitude Era ended. So for some reason, I know all of mid 2000 stuff. My mother never let me watch it. I would go over with my father's house, watch a little bit of the Attitude Era. And then for some reason, I got back into it in 05 and 06, right when DX reunited. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like how old was I? I don't know, 13, 14. I'm like, this is, because I didn't know the original DX. So I'm like, this is the shit right here. So that hooked me back into it. And Sean didn't know. So like we feed off of each other and talk about that stuff. Yeah, great sense of
Plus, you work a lot, like right, like he does a lot of the Celtics games. You're working the Celtics games.
Yeah.
So you build rapport.
A lot of hours together. Yeah.
And it's what people don't get is like when you're alone, like you're working the board, he's in there, and then like you guys are just shooting the shit about like maybe something you see on Twitter or something you hear on the broadcast or like the Andersons got tickets to the game, like like that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
Hell did they get tickets? Yeah,
exactly.
Every single time. Yeah.
Like it's just little quirks that like only you guys would understand, and so
the stupid inside jokes. Yeah.
Good answer there. And we all love Sean Silver. So there's no activities in Boston. I want to start there, but a couple of things just came out within the last few minutes.
Let's get to it.
The Patriots Hall of Fame. I have a banner for it somewhere.
Oh, look
who's next? Like Goldberg says.
Yeah, there you go.
Patriots Hall of Fame. It was Bill Parcells. It was Mike Vrabel and Richard Seymour, and Richard Seymour was the selection. Now, the storylines have been, why isn't Bill Parcells in the Hall of Fame? Why isn't Bill Parcells in the Hall of Fame? And it's going to be again tomorrow, and it will be so on and so on and so on and so on.
Next week, yeah.
But what I want to do here is recognize Big C, Richard Seymour, first round pick, first year Super Bowl, dominant, played the 3-4, played the 4-3, played a little fullback. Helped guys like Mike Vrabel, Ted Johnson, Teddy Bruschi, Roman Pfeiffer, all those guys during that era. Like, he was the big body. In the 07 season, that Super Bowl, he was dominant that game. He was dominant. Now, granted, he talked a lot and had a Super Bowl party lined up and everything, which bit him in the ass.
Yeah.
And then he got traded. But overall, his time in New England was a dominant one.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll put him in Canton someday, but he is the unanimous decision to be the Patriots Hall of Fame inductee this year. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about D tackles and defensive ends, he's one of the most versatile at those two key positions. You can stick him inside, you can stick him on the out. He wasn't quick like a JJ Watt or someone like this. I'm just throwing out a name here, but he had the power, and if you needed him to do the dirty work, he could get two blockers inside and muddy that up too. I mean, and he was an absolute leader. Like you said, he was a talker, and maybe kind of soiled his way out of town. That's why he ended up with the Raiders at the end. But the point is, tremendous, definitely deserve. I mean, future Hall of Famer, obviously deserving in the Patriots Hall of Fame, and well deserved for Big Seymour. And to get to Parcells and Vrabel, we were, talking about it right before we went on, Joe. I'm thinking Mike Vrabel might get the Parcells treatment ever since, what did he say? He had some comments about, about Bill, like, I'm not there anymore. And I'm not like to the degree of Rex Ryan. I'm not going to kiss the rings or anything.
And when he didn't get paid, he goes, oh, well, look at those shops over there at Patriot Place.
That's right. Absolutely. So there were some shots in there, and I don't think it was as clean of an exit. And even coming in, you respect him. As coach of the Titans, he comes in and beats the Patriots more than once now, right? So, he might get the same treatment as Parcells, but it's ridiculous that Parcells isn't in. But like you said, give credit to Seymour, well deserved. We'll be in Canton someday soon.
All right, Richard Seymour, newest member of the Patriots Hall of Fame. I have a little helmet that's signed by Richard Seymour, and I'm waiting for that HOF. So when I see him, I can get that HOF on there, and it will make the value of that. I'm throwing this one at you. This one is it's getting thrown at you.
Let's go.
But you think about the run from Seymour, right? So what? 01 to 08, let's call it. It's a 7-year dominant run. And then I start to think of what were other dominant runs that were possibly Hall of Fame worthy. How about Jonathan Papelbon? Right? Short run here. And I'll look up how many years. But like, Seymour was drafted here. Papelbon obviously was drafted. He was a starter, then became a closer, and then became the greatest closer in Red Sox history, right?
Right.
I mean, one of them, at least. I know people will put Koji's another one. And I know we're just talking baseball here. Yeah, so he was here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, but really it was 6 dominant years for Papelbon.
Right.
6 dominant years. I guess if I had to put it up there, I think Papelbon was more dominant than Seymour because of the I don't know. I say, so you disagree?
Yeah, I do. I disagree. I mean, obviously, it's tough when you pair. It's apples and oranges. It's tough when you compare what they do in different sports. But Papelbon was this fierce closer at the time, and he didn't blow many saves and all this. But I mean, what Seymour did, and you look at the quote unquote Patriot way and all that crap about doing what you can at multiple positions when you're told to do so, and do it at such a high level. Like you said, 4-3, 3-4. Seymour could fit into both schemes, and that's a completely different scheme for a new team. On the fly, he would fit right in, and he was dominant at both of them.
Notice a trend with those guys too. Both left. Both got paid. Both kind of went to obscurity.
Yeah, but both dominant while they were here. Absolutely. So, I mean, it's close. I mean, like I said, it's tough to compare different sports, but I think I would lean Seymour. But I mean, Papelbon's definitely not a bad.
Listen, this just came out of nowhere. I was thinking about, I love Seymour. 3 champion. My eyes showed me the impact he made on the field. He might not be statistically one of the greatest of all time or anything like that. But my eyes, the impact he had on the game, the double teams, his hands in the air, blocking passes, he did it all. I mean, he was a dynamic defensive lineman that, I don't know if there's that type of guy anymore. I'm trying to like Clowney's fast, right?
Yeah.
He's got a gift, but he's also known as a dog sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why he's not on a team right now. I mean, that and health injuries. But
Seymour had the knee injury because they put him at fullback. You know what I mean? Like, that's how he got hurt. Just like Gronkowski got hurt blocking a damn extra point.
Right.
And I know that
it looked like a fool playing safety.
I mean, shit, at least Papelbon didn't get hurt doing jigs out in the field,
Yeah, right.
That would have been the worst of it.
Who was that player? Was it Mariano? Shagging balls?
Yeah,
in the warning track, and then tears his ACL. Like, what are we doing? Why are they back there?
He blew his leg out.
Stupid.
Well, supposedly that's an activity that they do every single day, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll move on from that. All right, Mason. So you at the Sports Hub, how long now?
Jesus, it feels like forever. It's definitely the longest I've had any of my jobs, and I've bounced around a little bit early in my job life. In my adult life,
I'm still bouncing around.
Right. So I mean, kind of as well. So it's been over 5 years.
All right, good.
Yeah. So
now, how did you get out? Were you on street team and then worked your way up?
No, I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Okay,
shout out Steve
Williams. Shout out. I'm a CSB alum.
Those guys are the best. They got me an internship over at EEI.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Met with Ben Kitchen, who was on the afternoon show there. Good group of guys with bus balls, but it was like I showed up. Obviously,
so were you a part of the big show, or was that like Tim Ben?
No, it was Dale and Holly.
Oh, Dale and Holly. Okay.
Yeah. And then was there a third guy at the time? Or I think it was just the revolving.
Might have been Jerry Thornton or like that.
He was there for a little bit, but even before that, there was a revolving door. I remember like Taylor Twellman, like former Revs player, was in there like every Friday.
Good looking guy.
Yeah, yeah, a great guy.
Good looking guy.
Who else was there? It was just a revolving door, and then they
So,
tried
so
different things.
let me ask you
It was
this.
fun.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. Let me ask you this. So you're at EEI. You're an intern.
Yeah,
Are you just happen to be there, or what were you doing? Were you answering phones? Were you? Because it's weird, right? Okay, so I'll be on. When I was an intern,
yeah,
I got an internship at 1510 The Zone. I showed up, and the guy that was running the show goes, "All right, every day when you come in, just give me a write up of everything that happened the night before." So I would write like detailed notes, and
nice.
I'd throw in shit like Novak Djokovic versus Federer, you know.
Right.
And so the guy would just have it in his hands, and then when like they ran out of stuff, they'd be like, "Joe, come in here," and then like, "Guy, tell us what happened last night." And I would
Oh
just
no shit, that's awesome.
that's how I got to be. But it was because they didn't watch. All they cared about was this. No offense to the Falcon Mass storylines, and that's why they're number one in the market. They only cared about what was important. You know what I mean? This is, but so yeah, exactly. And then I started doing production. So when you were an intern, like I was glad I got that. And then one day I was working for this guy, no names. He goes, "Go get me a coffee," and I flat out told him, "Dude, I'm not a fucking coffee boy." And we hit it off the bat right after that. Some people just want to be challenged. You know what I mean? Like some dude's like, "Go get me coffee," and I'm like, "I'm not a fucking coffee boy." Yeah. And like he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, all right, cool. So do you want to produce my show?" And that was just kind of like that. But like when you were an intern, like what was it like for you?
There was a lot of things going on. Obviously, I'd answer phones, I'd produce. I wanted to learn the board on day one. I think I bother these guys, Ben and Andy. Like I like they're like, well, can't we just have an intern that just wants to be quiet and learn? I was like on their shoulder. I think I should have been more. I wasn't even that much. I'm like, it was the first week. I'm like, hey, why this over here? What are you doing in this? What were they using at the? I think they were using Wide Orbit. They still are, and obviously we use it at our station. They use the 360. I'm like, all right, so do you have all these drops over here? What do you use over here? What's this area for? And I was just trying to pick their brain as much as I could. I do. There is kind of a similar story where we were looking for, because Lou was obviously on the midday show, now afternoon show or whatever, and we were looking for some tape from one of his games on his birthday, and it was like old school, like 90s, like look through all these tapes. And I remember, I forget who it was, one of the guys I reported to. It's like, hey, can you and I was Will Bosch's another graduate at CSB. He interned with me, and we're like, hey, look through this, basically like 8 boxes of just tapes. We're looking for a specific one. I just look at him like, oh, real intern stuff, huh? And he's like, yeah, like we kind of need it for the show. So I kind of like, listen, I'll help out the show, but I'd like to go produce and whatever. But I try to pride myself. Obviously, I'm an intern. I'm trying to.
That's what you got to do, man. Whatever they ask, you got to do it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to show that I can be a team player and all that stuff. So yeah, I did a lot of things. I wrote some occasional headlines. Actually, it's funny. We weren't really doing much, and then all of a sudden, Dale pops in. He's looking. It was the NFL draft, and he's looking for like, hey, do you mind writing up a headline? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So like and verbatim, he read the headline. So that was kind of cool. Like the first couple of weeks being there. So that was the summer. Maybe it was cut down day, whatever it was. Yeah. So yeah, writing headlines, everything. It was a cool experience.
So what happened? That was it. Your internship was up, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, I asked them all for letters of recommendation. I think I got one of them. They were cool. I mean, not to knock anyone, but I mean, you could definitely tell it was. I don't know what. Let's make this go right.
Well, you get your word. You get your words together. So I've had other guys on this show that have worked there. Yes. It sounds like, and again, I'm throwing this out there. There's no 98.5 versus WEI battle. It's not a thing. It's not. We don't like this like the guys over there. We like their work. I think they have an incredible website. I do. I think their website is awesome.
Yeah.
We had Ty Anderson on this week who, wasn't really as used as much as maybe you wanted to be used at the time. Christian Arcan, same thing. He wanted to do more. We had Jimmy Stewart, who was there for years and literally did everything there.
Yeah.
Like everything at that station. And they didn't he just asked, "Hey, where do you see me in 5 years?" And they didn't have a projection. So it's kind of like you look at the Sports Hub, you look at EEI, and this is not shitting on them. It's just that like you wanted to do more, you couldn't. And
Right.
even at the Sports Hub, we can only do so much too.
Sure.
But like I
You're
just
always
feel
looking to evolve.
exactly, and I also feel like maybe we can step outside the box a little bit. There's not as much pressure to get the ratings and get the listeners. It's more of a what's a good conversation for the day and a good topic, and like I feel like you can maybe step outside the box a little bit where there might be more pressure.
Right. And I kind of stepped in shit a little bit the first week, like in the bad term, not like finding a passion. Like I got some heat the first month or two there. Because I'm like, I'm in the building. I'm not just doing this internship and then like, all right, thanks. That was a cool experience, cool 3 months. I'm talking to everyone. Like I went over to AAF. I'm talking to them, and I didn't know that I was out of line for saying like I'm absolutely fulfilling my internship. Like you bring me in, it's an honor to be here. I want to be here in sports radio, and I'm doing that. But at the same time, I'm understanding, all right, what's the probability of, making this be more than an internship when I'm done? So I'm talking to the rock station, I'm talking to the alternative station. I'm like, so I'm trying to gain a rapport with everyone. I'm in the building, I have to. I would, be a terrible mistake if I didn't. So that kind of got me a little heat. Just not just kind of being in my role.
You got to know your role. Stay in your lane, Mason.
Know your damn role. Shut your damn mouth and cut this audio honestly, and answer phone calls.
Now you have interns in now, right? What do you tell them to do? Answer the phone and shut up, right?
I don't. I'm not that guy.
Ah, come on.
I'm not that guy. Ask questions.
I know you're not that guy. No, you're right.
Ask all the questions you want. Yeah, because you're here for a reason. You want to learn. Like, don't be shy. If you want to say like, hey, I got something for the show, put me on air. We'll give you some shit for it. I think it was.
Well, you got to. Yeah, exactly. Here's your chance. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, and then we'll bust your balls. But if you're so confident, then let's go. Yeah. So I give everyone an opportunity. But if you blow it, then all right, sorry, give someone else a chance. But then you move on.
All right, so quick. So then you applied to the sport. You got hired at the Sports Hub, and you were doing overnights, and then eventually
Mike Texera helped me out. Remember Mike? He was there.
I remember Mike. Yeah,
he got me in the door, got me a conversation with Rick, and then started doing.
Now listen, that's impressive because the pipeline to the Sports Hub is through the street team. I'm sorry, you got to do street team work, and then eventually it's like, hey, I like this kid. He's reliable. I mean, look at Alex Barth, right? He's come through.
Yeah,
Jeremy was, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like Kristen Sermon. There are other names, but that's generally if you are reliable and they like your work and you're a nice kid and you have a passion, like, and you're around, they'll call on you if there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
For me, dude, like I said, I banged on the door for years. I knew there was a sports station. I was working with Mark Bertrand at the time. I was working with other guys in the business, and it took a long time. I was in communication a lot. I've been thinking about having Mike Thomas on this podcast.
Do it.
Like, will he spill the beans? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's almost like a dark side of the hub.
Yeah, but like I've been like, like for me, dude. Like I was like, dude, I'll fucking wash the floors. I'll vacuum, like just whatever you want.
I'll file papers.
I'll do whatever you want. And then one day it was like, hey, I got an opportunity, and I'm like, yes. And so I did an audition on Christmas Day, the lockout year. And I didn't hear anything for like 4 or 5 months.
Oh, no.
And I was like, no.
You blew it. You blew it.
Literally. And then it's all worked out from that. Hey, Alex Barth is checking in. Street team. How about that kid?
Represent the street.
Wow, look at that. How did you cry after Tom Brady left? We'll I'm sorry, buddy. We'll get to you.
That guy's been waiting for a while.
All right, so getting all past all that shit, you're at the Sports Hub now for 8 years. All right, blah blah blah. I didn't know you were at EEI though, so that's interesting to know. And dude, like at CSP, like so when I was there, I got lucky, man. Like my teacher was John Anik, okay, who's now the broadcaster for UFC. Yeah. Like, and the guys I met along the way, like, mine were contacts, Mason. I don't know exactly. Like you really probably got a lot from the school. What I got was I was a kid out of college for a while and had the connections and
Yeah.
like, dude, I was a failed musician, so I already know how to use the production programs, you know.
Yeah.
So I was a producer first, and then obviously, got on air. But like my side was sales. Like, hey, you want to be on the air? You got to go sell. You got to get advertising, and that's what I did. And I'm not saying it was talent. It's just that if you can learn the production side, the sales side, and management side,
makes you that much more valuable.
Exactly, and that's kind of how it worked out for me. I don't do any of those other things now. I can still do sales if they want me to. I'm looking for a job, everybody, by the way. Hi.
Sponsor this show.
Dude, somebody could. I could put a fucking banner right up here. I got parental advisory. I could do whatever you want. Hey, this In or Out segment is brought to you by In or Out Pizza or In or Out Burger. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Hey, you are on I'm trying to think of some sort of sponsor. You are on the AT&T expert hotline, the Volkswagen dealers expert hotline. You are on some sort of hotline here. Yes, it could get to that. It could get to that.
So many opportunities. Yeah.
All right. Enough grab ass. So Mayor Walsh, dude, he put the nix on everything, dude. Okay, I agree with him. I agree. First and foremost, I agree. It sucks. Selfishly, it sucks. No SummerSlam. No games at Fenway Park. No concerts. No 4th of July.
Yeah.
Like it's like Jaws when they say that the 4th of July is canceled. Like this is what's happened here. But I agree. So first and foremost, your thoughts on the city of Boston being closed down until Labor Day?
I mean, yeah, we thought. Listen, like I honestly, when this whole thing first started, I was one of the guys like, oh, let's look at the stats, like how many new cases today? Oh, are we reaching that peak? And we're trying to predict this peak and all that. I honestly haven't checked in the past week or two, but wasn't the peak supposed to be a month ago and it's still 30,000 new? I don't know. I'm just making things up at this point. But the point is, yeah, I mean, you have to. You have to postpone it. It has to be Boston with the 2020, the summer that Boston never had. I'm sorry, but it has to be for everyone's safety. So many people are getting sick, and so many people are dying when they shouldn't be, or when you can at least save these people. So it's terrible, but for the greater good and for years to come, rather this being elongated, rather this turn into the effing Black Plague. You need to be responsible now, and hopefully by the fall, this will be all right. But
any issue?
I agree as well.
So I agree. Again, we both agree. But is there an issue with looking too far out? And let me give you an example. UFC over this past weekend was in Jacksonville, Florida, right? I mean, it's kind of hard to compare anything to Florida.
It's like another country. Yeah.
It's hard to compare. But I applaud UFC for what they did this week. They had an event. It was on ESPN and then ESPN Plus. The night before, a fighter got tested positive for COVID, and 2 other people in his corner. They sent them home. They tested everybody. They had a good event, a great event. And Joe Rogan's in the ring interviewing people, no mask. I look at it and I say, wow, this might be the new normal, but could this be the blueprint of? And don't think I'm ignorant when I say this, but I think we're going to have to deal with the consequences if you want sports, right?
So what do you mean by that?
You're an employee. You're LeBron James. You're Kevin Love. You're these players. You want to go out there and earn your salary? We want to go out there and be an athlete? Well, this shit's not going away. And we have to take all the precautions we can to continue the sport if you want it to happen. If not, you're going to lose money. The ownership's going to lose money. The TV rights are going to go out. Next year's salary cap is going to be lower than ever, and you're going to have to lose players. People are going to lose jobs. People won't get their jobs back. So what I think is, and I'm not being ignorant, I just think that at some point we're going to have to go out there and know that this is something you have to be careful of, and the show at some point in stages will have to move on.
Yeah, you have to adjust. You have to adapt. I mean, like you said, I like the UFC. It was definitely ballsy of them to, Dana White. He's a crazy meathead. He'll fight in the middle of Times Square. He'll have this thing. He wanted to do it, a month ago, and then Disney calls and says like, nah, this ain't happening. So they were going to do it no matter what. It's time will tell, meaning like the next couple days, week or so, if anyone has been infected because of UFC 249 who was there. If that happens, then I think they have to put a hold on it. But like you said, that one fighter who was supposed to fight tested positive. They then tested everyone again. Everyone else is clean. All right, do the show, and then you move on. You hold your breath the next week or so. Make sure everyone's good from there, and then yes, I believe that can be the blueprint. Yeah, you got to adapt. You got to take all the precaution you have, and obviously, these are businesses. They run on money, and if like I heard Schefter early in the week saying like if there are no fans in the stands this year, the salary cap's going to go down 80 million. 80 effing million. This is ridiculous. Every team. So yeah, it definitely they need to find a way.
So that means the Patriots will have 20 million in cap space next year.
They'll have $2 in cap space. Me and you, $1 each.
I'll be long snapping. Cardona got paid too much money.
Exactly.
So you mentioned the NFL season. Obviously Baker's the governor of Massachusetts, and the Labor Day thing is in Boston. So Miami comes to town week 1. Are there fans in the stands, Mason?
I think so. Yeah. We're still again, but
I mean, would you want to tailgate?
No. I'm actually not gonna I would not feel comfortable in a 60, 70,000 seat stadium with all these strangers next to me. I just listen.
Drinking beer, grilling.
Maybe tailgate. Maybe tailgate.
No, but what I'm saying is
everyone have your distance. But in
Foxborough distance.
Yeah, right. Yeah, everyone's social distance.
We're gonna be in fucking Rhode Island. Gonna be Rhode Island and Providence.
Yeah, exactly. We're all sardines in there. I think so. Yeah, we're still months away. I think adjustments can be made. There are dumb people out there that are like, oh, all of a sudden it's 60 degrees, let's go out, and there's no rules. But come on, if limit that in as much capacity as you can by September 7th, September 10th. Yeah, I think we'll have. I don't think it will be to its full capacity, but there will be measures made. But there will be fans in the stand.
Schedule day was last week.
Oh, schedule day.
That's right. One of the best bits in history.
Yeah.
So they play in Seattle week 2, and then Kansas City week 4. If there's no fans in the stands, that 12th man don't mean shit.
No.
And I don't know what that means for Kansas City either. But Jared Stidham's going to be the opening day quarterback as of right now for the New England Patriots. If there's what's better for Stidham? Fans or no fans?
Oh, no fans. No, absolutely no. It's the number 1 and number 2 loudest stadiums on the road in week 2 and week 4 in the country. So yeah, obviously the fans make all the difference in the world. So that will benefit the Patriots if they go into. Obviously, they're still going to the West Coast, but yeah, they'll be able to hear on offense. Essentially a rookie quarterback. Having going for his first start. And his last throw was pick 6. So, he needs all the confidence in the world. And maybe in the long term, we're talking now, maybe this will benefit him. But you give him something easy. You give him something very light. And if there are no fans week 2, week 4 in these loud stadiums, that absolutely benefits him in the Patriots offense, no doubt.
Continuing on with the Patriots, 5 years ago today.
Oh, boy.
Tom Brady suspended for the use of an equipment violation, I believe.
So that wasn't the actual suspension. That was when it came down. Patriots will be docked $1 million, draft pick, and Brady suspended for a game. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's actually
5 years ago, huh? 5 years ago?
It's a surprise. It's actually still not going on, because I'm like, I remember talking about this every week. I was doing a podcast at the time, the Boston 3 Party. Like every week, it was like Deflategate update. Like, oh, is it still going on? Yep. All right, moving on. You know, it was 500 days or whatever the hell it was. It was stupid. Yeah, I don't want to go back to that, Joe. I actually really don't want to relive that. Unbelievable.
5/11/2015, and I've told people this story before, but like, this is when Rich was out a lot in the mornings with his wife, and they moved Jones around, so I was doing nights, and like shit was coming out, dude, and I'm like, oh my god. Like I'm here for sports. Like what
did I sign up for?
And then one day the name Ruth Bader Ginsburg came across, and I was like, holy shit, this is real. I'm like, they're really going to court. And then remember like the court like sketches, there was like the guy who would sketch like the face of Tom Brady. And like,
that terrible sketch. That was awesome.
Dude, but like, I'm a sports guy who has no political background. Like, no, out on politics. Like,
you know, so you bring up Supreme Court, it goes to the highest. Like, there was one more step, and at my initial reaction, and I still kind of believe this. Like, if Tom Brady vehemently believes he did nothing wrong, then you take that next step. And I believe he quit.
Well, no,
like,
he did.
I think he quit.
All right, are we going to revisit? Am I going to bring in Hurley for this? All right, so
let's bring him.
Yeah, we had him on already. We talked about it.
Well, not talking about the actual, act or accusal of the act. I'm just talking about you go all this way, you take it to the final stage.
No, what happened
you didn't go.
What happened was this. You're right. That could have happened. But Robert Kraft folded. He goes, I can't go against the other 32. And once he folded, Brady was on his own. Because Belichick already blamed Brady for the balls.
Oh yeah, he was on his own. Yeah.
Belichick's like, I didn't do shit. You gotta talk to Tom. You gotta talk to Tom about the balls, man. And then Kraft was like, oh, geez. Yeah, we can't relive that. Like we can't. The numbers of viewers literally just went down as we talked about.
Right, we won't do this. Come back, everybody.
Did you watch the Jordan documentary?
I did. I actually binged it this past weekend to get caught up for this week, and I watched both episodes last night. Best 2 episodes so far.
Do you think you could hit 200 in AA?
No, I sucked at baseball.
And how old are you?
29.
Okay, so he's 31. I'm 38. I don't think I could do it now, but 10 years ago, maybe.
There you go.
Ooh, AA. I don't know. Because AA is like the hardest division.
Yeah.
Because AAA is just the guys that are like, fucking, I'm here just to hopefully get in a call.
Yeah.
Or I'm 30 and I'm still playing.
Right.
Like AAA is really like AA is where the fun is. Where the players are. But
Joe, you're talking to the wrong guy. I sucked at baseball. But we can get to Jordan in a second. But this brings up a funny point. I wanna bounce this off you. Talking about playing professional sports right now. Can you do this at the minimum capacity? Say like for $1 million, you either do this or you die. You're dead. Like the extremes. You're rich or you're dead. You get put into an NBA game for 25 minutes. You need to grab 3 rebounds.
Done.
Do you get it?
Done.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
I'll get those rebounds. So this is funny. You remember when that damn goalie went into the game and won?
Washington, right? Yeah.
That gave all the it was against Toronto, so I forget who team he played for.
Maybe it was Washington. Yeah, the hockey hardos, right?
Yeah, all the hockey hardos say I played hockey. That's it. It's over. They won. They won.
Yeah.
I could not get on the hockey rink. I can't skate, so I'm out. But if you were like, Joe, it's the game-winning field goal. We need you to snap it to the punter. I could fucking get it back there.
Absolutely.
I can get it back there.
Cleanest spiral you've ever seen.
It will be the best, yes. Because I can do it over the head if you need it. I can do it underneath one hand, whatever you need. I can do that. Also, if I had to play left field at Fenway Park, I would lean against the wall. And if it was over my head, it's going to hit the wall anyways.
Yes.
And Jackie Bradley's that superstar over there. You know what I mean? So he's going to help.
But
anything in front of me, all I have to do is Mike Greenwell kneel and let it hit the glove, hit the cutoff man. So I'm wondering if left field at Fenway might be the easiest position to enter a game.
In any or in the major four?
Yes, because like I played first base in the majors. No, fuck that. I don't want to take laser beams from the shortstop. You know what I'm saying? In like the bag, I'm out. But yeah, like hockey's out. NBA, like you can play, but like I'm 6'3" and I'm a point guard in the NBA, so I'm out. So what do we have?
They could put you in goal.
But I can't skate.
That's okay. Just sit there.
Just in here. Am I
sitting here and there?
Yeah, I could do it if you needed me to. But yeah, if there was one sport, to me, I probably would play left field Fenway, lean against the fucking wall, play anything in front of me, anything that's over my head, it's gonna hit the wall anyways, and I hit the cutoff man.
Yeah, but so you're not making outs though.
It doesn't matter. I'm in the game and I'm in the board. I'm like Moonlight Graham. I'm like Moonlight Graham, kid. Get me in.
If one position on the I'd probably just pick catcher. I'd pick catcher.
I can't score.
Yeah,
but dude, you don't. Like imagine these sliders. So I've played catcher, and like I don't know if you haven't caught a guy in a while, and you call a fucking like slider, and you don't know how to catch the slider, like you're back there having a hell of a day. You got to block balls in front of you, like it's oh man.
There's a lot of crotch movement.
My knees hurt literally talking about this.
Right just now. Thinking about it.
Oh God, yes. Sometimes when I talk about sports, my knees and my back just like all of a sudden flare. That happens to Mike Flynn, by the way. Whenever like you bring stuff up about Flynn, he's like automatically like, oh my God. Yeah, he's like, he's like my back hurts. So what I liked about last night's Jordan documentary, so he had 50 RBI. And they said that if he got 1,500 at bat, they said he was getting better. And then the strike fucked him. The strike, they had a strike season, and BJ Armstrong was like, "Hey, why don't you come to the?" And then he came one day, so is BJ Armstrong to thank for Michael Jordan coming back?
Yeah, I mean, we may have seen another Bo Jackson and Michael Jordan, you know, just an absolute gem at anything he played. So, absolutely. You thank BJ, and obviously you thank him for getting fired him up when he was went to Orlando, right? And Charlotte. Yeah, the Hornets.
My buddy Chris is checking in. Joe, do you remember when the Chinese Rain Man threw me out? Yeah. So, story. There was a kid named Suhu. He was kind of like he'd just show up, and I hit a single to right field. It should have been a single. The first base coach goes, Joe, Suhu's out there, go to second. So, this is like, within the last 10 years. I'm not fleet of foot anymore. I get thrown out on a dagger from right field. I mean, like a legit Ichiro strike from the outfield. And it was embarrassing, but at the same time, I was very happy for the kid. Very happy for the kid.
At least it wasn't at first.
And listen, they still talk about it to this day.
Well, there you go. Brings joy to many.
But I to me though, I still blame the first base coach. I should have just took my single and went along with it.
Don't take responsibility.
Joe, am I betting ping pong? No. I went 9-5. I went 9-5. 9-5 in UFC bets the other night.
Speaking of feeling it when talking about sports, I was watching that last one, Ferguson. No, it wasn't Ferguson and Gaethje. Gaethje put on a clinic.
Dude, I had Gaethje plus 175, baby. Dude, the kid from Methuen's good. Catter.
Yes.
He's legit. Chris Catter, I think his name is.
Yeah, he some well-known guy. Anyway, the one before, was it Nico Price or whatever, or maybe I'm missing.
Nico Price's eye got knocked out.
His eye was shut.
Dude, so they had to stop the fight, but he was hanging in there for a bit. He looked good.
They were hammering away, and I'm like, my face hurts watching this.
Dude, this
is unbelievable. And they were talking about Cormier and Rogan. They're like, and then we got to Ferguson and Gaethje. Like, if this was in Vegas, crowd would be going absolutely insane. So yeah, that obviously helped too. Yeah. Why it was a great
show. So Huda retired, and then Dominic Cruz. He actually, I don't know why the ref stopped the fight. I mean, I won my bet, but anyways, I don't know why. Like, I feel like Cruz should come back. I wouldn't go out like that if I was him. And then Cowboy Cerrone got hosed. I thought,
you thought he won?
Yeah, dude. I don't think Pettis won that fight. You can't. The judges did. There was some weird shit that night. Like, I had Watterson.
There always is.
You know what my problem is? I feel like I can judge a boxing fight. Like, if you don't knock out the champ, you're not gonna win. If you go the distance with the champ in boxing, it's gonna be like a draw, or like what's his name? The first Fury fight.
Yeah, Fury Wilder.
Fury won that whole fight, then got knocked out at the end and almost lost. It was a draw because Fury won the fight, but like Wilder almost knocked you out. So that's why there was the two. With UFC, I don't understand how they and we're gonna have John Anik on the podcast this week, but like I don't understand some of the judges. It's actually hard for me to figure out like who actually won a fight. But Cerrone's lost 4 in a row now. Like Cowboy Cerrone, like how's he bounced back without retiring?
I don't know. I mean, obviously he's longest in the game, most wins, most finishes, and 4 in a row. That's bad. But I mean, I look at Cerrone and Pettis, obviously legends, but I just see them, not disrespect. I've never been in the octagon, but they're glorified mid carders. Like there are guys that are going to be there. They need to be on the mid card. And,
I think Ferguson's good. He got his ass kicked by Gaethje.
He did. And so Gaethje, I mean, Cerrone and Pettis, whatever.
And now they're on the way. And I think Greg Hardy sucks.
That guy.
He's just huge.
Dude, the Fall River dude. Oh man, I was so pumped. I'm like, teach this son of a bitch a lesson. He was winning first round. He was knocking him. He was digging into that leg with those leg kicks, and then he broke his foot and then didn't do anything in the second and third. Here am I saying, you break your foot, get back out there. But these guys are freaks in the ring. They're beasts, and they don't feel pain. It's all adrenaline. So I mean, you push through. You train 4 months for this, and come on, you got to knock them out 5 more minutes. So I was pissed about that more than anything. Let me take you back to another one. Did you see you were talking about judging fights? Cruz and Dominic Reyes is his name. John Jones should have beat John Jones, should have been the lightweight champion. And
John Jones lost that fight. And
absolutely.
I don't
Thank
know.
you. So
but again, I don't understand the judges.
Well, all these people that come out and say, and the judges are like, oh, well, he didn't do enough to beat the champion. I don't care. You don't have to put down the champion. Did you win the fight? Did you land better hits? Did you have control? Yes, he was essentially running away the last minute because he was up. He should have been up. But the judges didn't see that way. They're like, oh, we're going to dock you because you didn't take the fight to him at the end. It was terrible. He got screwed. And it seems like once every show is at least a dreadful judging mistake. And it's more than coincidence at this point.
And now John Jones has got arrested again, and who knows what his future is.
Of course he is.
A couple of things about the documentary. What I like about Jordan is that he needs something for a fire, right? Like you see him smoking his cigar, and he's like, "All right, motherfucker's gonna get it." He's like swinging a baseball bat.
Yeah, that was after BJ.
Yeah, he's like driving the knob, like he's like working on his swing. He's still working on his baseball swing.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna win the championship this year and come back and play baseball. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's still working on his swing. I will say this though, that Orlando series that they lost when he got the ball stolen from Nick Anderson.
Yeah.
Dude, that was 95. So I'm 13 years old, okay? And the 1995 video game, NBA Live 95, was like a big game. And Shaq. So that Orlando team was Penny, Nick Hardaway, Dennis Scott, Horace Grant, and Shaq. Like that was your 5, and they were loaded. But Jordan was tired. Jordan did get worn down. He didn't have the body. Nick Anderson stole the ball from him. He couldn't hit the big shot. Like those were all real things about Jordan. That year, people thought he was done. People thought he was done. And
because he didn't make it to the finals. Unbelievable. Right?
Yeah, no, but like to be honest with you, like in real life, he's not 23 anymore. And that's where Nick Anderson said, hey,
45 is
45. And dude, that one talk shit moment changed it all. I believe it. That one thing said changed the whole thing.
Just breathe in his direction, and he'll be like, all right, you want to use my oxygen? I'm scoring 50 the next night. You're like, unbelievable.
But but I remember like living through that.
Yeah.
And like, no, he's still the greatest in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think back on that, and it's funny. Shaq won 2 Super Bowls, 2 rings with the Lakers. How many did he win with the Lakers?
It was 3, right? They won 3 in a row.
Because Kobe has 5. So I'm trying to. He finally won one
it was
without Shaq. So does Shaq have 3 or 4? Anyways, all I'm trying to say is Shaq could have won another with Orlando and didn't. But I think they lost to Houston. So that Houston team was pretty good. So I'll give you that.
Speaking of, how you were saying Jordan was run down. When it gets to, thank you, Christopher. For Shaq, one with Miami.
Forgot about that Miami one.
Yeah, I did too, honestly. What the hell was I going to say? Yeah, when it got, how about when Gary Payton started talking, and then all of a sudden the next scene you see him watching what Gary Payton's saying? I'm like, oh, this is going to be great.
Well, so I remember that too. I remember they were like, "Oh, we're gonna put Gary Payton on Jordan." Like this was like Bob Costas.
What are we doing? Game 4. What are we doing?
Bob Costas said, "Right now, Gary Payton, the glove, the Defensive Player of the Year, is going to be covering Michael Jordan. Let's see if this will change." But George Karl didn't say hi to him in a restaurant, and he got fucking pissed. Like, what else is pissed off Jordan in his life?
You say hi to him, he thinks you're suck up, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna bury you. You don't say hi to him, he's like, all right, you asshole, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's that ultimate, it's beyond obsessive competitiveness. And that's what made him the great. He won 6 championships in essentially 6.5 years.
Besides his early struggles without a great coach.
Yes.
He pretty much won every year, and he lost to the Celtics, he lost to the Lakers, he lost to the Pistons. Those are pretty marks on him, but he beat them all after, and I don't know if that was towards he never beat the Celtics.
That's right.
I guess I'll leave that.
Yeah, absolutely. What you think about, because they spent a good time on the gambling, and obviously the conspiracy with his father. I didn't know it was. They said it was a couple of 18-year-olds that murdered his father.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
I'm like, that's not the mafia. Those are asshole kids, So I don't think at all it's connected to. And it's fun. They just ran it. Like they are bloodthirsty. The media back then. I mean, I guess they still are today. But they're like, oh yeah, is Jordan's father, who just freshly died, is it connected to Michael? Unbelievable.
Who knows, dude? We'll never know. We'll never know. But I don't know. It took a couple of weeks for them to find his body. Like it's. I don't want to speculate. It just was very, very, very interesting. Moving on here. Were you a Seinfeld fan at all?
No, not really.
So Jerry Stiller died today. He's the one.
I do know Jerry Stiller, funny guy. Yep.
Invented the Festivus. Also said he was the first to start the stop short in the car. So if you're ever with a woman, hit the brake, you stop short.
Okay.
Get it?
What a guy.
And then of course there's the ass man. The Kramer had the plate, ass man, and Kramer was the one who stopped short. But legend, like a legendary father of like a sitcom. Ben Stiller's dad. But he passed away today, and a very good character, like memorable. We're still talking about the Festivus till this day.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we'll always talk about Festivus.
Obviously for different reasons, but you talk about like father characters in sports. Like I immediately go to Uncle Phil and Fresh Prince, but like obviously for different reasons. That's a character that will live on. Like that is
and it
like
could
a
be
father
sports,
character that
could be sports related because George worked for the Yankees.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You tell George Steinbrenner I said this. I think that's that's wicked cool. Hey, Money in the Bank was last night for all the wrestling fans out there. I thought it was an enjoyable show. The best match of the night was definitely McIntyre and Seth Rollins. It's still, dude, I kind of wish that we could put the WWE wrestlers in the AEW like ring, like that
arena.
I like the way it looks, AEW, and I like the fact that the heels are on one side and the faces are on the other. And I wish we could have all wrestling like that.
Well, I mean, they already did adapt WWE from AEW, putting the camera entranceway. So
Yeah.
after the first week, they stole that. I why not? Yeah, just make everyone marks. And like the AEW people, they're like, all right, we embrace this. Whatever you call us, the redheaded stepchild of wrestling, whatever. We're gonna be out there and we're gonna enjoy it and we're gonna have fun and all that. But yeah, what the hell was that last match last night though?
Asuka wins the women's.
At the same time.
And Otis wins the men's.
And it happened at the same time. Obviously, it was pre-recorded movie.
The food fight was cool, I guess.
I liked John Laurinaitis getting the pie in the
Laurinaitis got the pie.
I popped at that.
Bruce Pritchard, Brother Love.
Yeah, coming out of the bathroom, right? Or something like that.
I love you. And then Vince McMahon, they both go in his office. So I read today that Vince didn't want to destroy his office because he values the dinosaur bones in his office.
Okay. Are they legitimate dinosaur bones?
They really are, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But did you see them push the chairs back in?
Yeah. AJ's like, oh, let's tidy this office.
I wonder if there's something to the AJ Undertaker thing.
Well, yeah, they mentioned it as they're going down the hallway. Aleister Black throws him in like a Taker dusty dark room. So I don't know. I mean, have you been watching? Not to jump around all this time, but have you been Is the Last Ride documentary going on?
Episode 1 was yesterday, and it was so good.
I missed it.
Oh,
yeah,
it was so good.
Yeah, because
it might be the best one they've done.
This is the first time, because when he was on with Stone Cold, and just talking for an hour, just saying like he doesn't remember when the streak was broken. Like, he was concussed a minute into the match or 5 minutes in.
That's what he said, yep.
He doesn't remember the night. Incredible.
They gave some detailed stuff after that. I won't spoil it, but
yeah.
They mentioned who went to the hospital with him, and
right. I mean, this is the greatest character in the history of entertainment, really. And and he's been so quiet. He's kept kayfabe his entire life, even on the streets. And
they said that he went into the hotel room. Into a hotel, and Roman Reigns walked up to him, fucking with him. Yeah. And he goes, "Man, you can't break kayfabe 1 minute."
Yeah, it's like what are you doing, man? What are you doing, young blood?
But he was cool though. Like he definitely loves his wife. He's definitely the man of the locker room. There's no doubt.
Oh, always.
They go back to like some stuff with him and Kurt Angle that was pretty good. It's very good, and there's more coming. So, but the one thing I liked was, I guess he was fighting Greg the Hammer Valentine, and he had him in a corner. And one day he just rolled his eyes back. That wasn't planned. He just did it. And I guess WWE took a picture of it. And now that's why he does the eye roll all the time now.
Yeah.
He's the one who evolved the Undertaker.
Right. Yeah. And all these are seemingly on accident. And then someone in the back is like, oh, what this you do? You got to do that every night now.
And I guess Bray Wyatt said before that they fought, he was like, I had no clue he was beat up. Like I guess like he was nervous to fight Bray. and like Triple H had to come over and talk to him, and he was just nervous because he feels like he's losing it. He had to get the hip surgery, so I think now I think now he feels good. But he said in that Royal Rumble match he didn't belong, and he doesn't want to take away from somebody. It's good. So for those who are out there who want to watch it, I suggest that. But my predictions are Otis cashes in to become a WWE tag team champion, and then Asuka wins. But like, does she cash on Becky? Who's the SmackDown champion?
Dude, I don't know.
Oh, it's Bayley.
Okay, yep. But Otis as champion, like, listen, that story was great.
Mandy, I did it.
Pay off at WrestleMania. But Otis as champion, I don't think that's going to happen.
That's why I think he's going to cash in on the tag team side. Hey, Booker McFarlane and Joe Tessitore out on Monday Night Football.
Don't want anyone to lose their job, but yeah, they were not good. They not very good. So as Dick Flavin would say. So yeah, do they know who's sliding in? Is Peyton sliding in, or
we don't know yet.
Okay.
So
I personally, this was 10, 15 years ago. I was probably the only one, but I actually liked Tony Kornheiser in the booth. Remember Kornheiser for a year or two?
God, no.
I liked him. And Gruden and Theresa.
I didn't mind Dennis Miller at the time years ago, but people hated that.
Yeah, I was the only one fan, I guess.
My guy's McAfee. You know who I actually thought did really well during the XFL? I thought Steve Levy was great.
Yeah, he's good.
So I don't know if they go that route, but they've tried Al Michaels, they've tried Peyton Manning. They got to do something. And Sean McDonough got a bad rap. I don't care what anybody says. All right, want to do a little in or out?
Let's do it.
In or out? Jordan being a bad guy.
I'm out on it. I don't think he's a bad guy. He's a competitor. Could he have used his words maybe a little bit differently? Was he perfect? Absolutely not. But just picking on Burrell, whatever. He said to fire him up. But I don't think that makes him a bad guy. No.
People called him an asshole, though.
They did. Yeah, his own teammates. Yeah, he was an asshole at times. Yeah, I don't think that off the court he wasn't like that. So they tried to, like he said, he tried to make it, and he was crying when talking about, like, I want to get you to my level.
Yeah.
Like at the end of episode 7, I think it was. Yikes. Yep. Like, yeah, it means literally everything to him. So
okay. In or out on the Patriots getting the double-digit wins? I am in.
Wow. Yeah, that's right. You're in on it when you did schedule day. I'm out. I mean, I see 10-6 maybe, but this defense isn't going to be as good as they were last year. Like, you got to remember, they were the best Patriots defense maybe of all time. 6 return touchdowns or whatever it was. That's not going to happen again. And obviously, I know Tom Brady wasn't as good, but Stidham isn't going to be that good. So I don't. 9-7, 8-8.
I think the team's going to be like the Bulls without Jordan. They got to roll. They got to play well. They got to play team ball.
Belichick's going to be like that. We can. Here's every game we won without Brady.
Exactly. I totally think so. There. In or out on Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah theme.
So yeah, he had a new theme last night. I'm actually in on it. I was going back and forth on it, and obviously. You get away from the burn it down because everyone loved to cheer, to sing that. Obviously, he's a heel at this point. I think he's doing an okay job with it. Maybe he can do better. But, one of these days, he's eventually going to turn face again, and it's going to be back to burn it down. The place is going to go nuts. So from a storyline perspective, I'm in on it.
I'll throw a couple of these into in or out. They're Murder Hornets.
Out! But, whatever. I mean, I guess grasshoppers and praying mantises and scorpion. I saw a new one of a scorpion. Of course, a scorpion's eating it, but it just destroyed this thing. So just get a couple of praying mantises in your house. You'll be all right.
I think they're overrated.
Yeah, I guess so.
I think they're trying to scare. I think they're trying to scare us more with all the shit that's happening.
We had, that's one of the memes. Like, ooh, fear of coronavirus is going down. Murder hornets are in. So
I mean, shit. With their UFOs, just they literally like confirmed them. So
this year
like,
is weird, man.
dude,
The weirdest year.
In or out on Korean baseball. So I'm in.
I'm not watching.
It's fast paced. I don't
Okay,
know
that's cool.
I don't know who anyone is, and like I don't know. It's baseball. It's the only thing we got right now.
Sure. Yeah, from that standpoint, I mean, if it's fast paced, I'm totally on this. Hopefully, MLB steals from that as well. And, I'm talking about from leagues stealing from other leagues and makes Major League Baseball whenever that returns under 3 hours. But yeah, sure. I'm in for, trying to speed it up, a faster paced game, but I'm not watching. So therefore, I'm out.
In or out on Earl Thomas spending Mother's Day at home.
Oh, Jesus. Does he?
Because she did buy him that chain.
Hello.
She bought him that chain, dude.
So they've reconciled, I guess. Everything's fine.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know but she bought him a chain though.
Maybe like a ball and chain to stay to the house.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like one that you're not leaving the house.
Exactly. I'm sure. Why not in on it? The family's trying to reconcile. What an idiot! What a dumbass!
Airbnb during a pandemic, I'll never understand.
Yeah.
And why do you have your Snapchat location on? Anyways,
out on that.
In or out on Dave Portnoy winning a sit down with Roger Goodell.
This is what I forgot to say when we were talking about. I'm so in on that. It's not.
I'm so funny. In on this. Like, is it really going to happen? And if I'm Roger Goodell, right? Okay,
live stream this,
dude. Play it off, man.
Yes.
Roger Goodell could be the coolest guy in history if he does this.
Yeah, and what if they end up being cool? Like they're like, all right, he's actually not a bad guy. Like maybe Patriots fans be like, oh, you betrayed us. It's Roger Goodell.
But remember, Barstool's not credentialed.
So
they can't get into NFL games. Like Jared Carrabis doesn't go to baseball games because he's not credentialed.
But you know what? Portnoy didn't help himself when he said like "See you soon, commission," and then he has like the stands of clown shirts, so he's feeding into it. He's relentless. But I wonder at the end he comes out of this like this is a business opportunity. This is all fun. Hey, can I get credentialed? Can I get in there?
I hope it in Goodell's best interest he rolls with it. Because if he's an idiot and says, "Oh, we can't do it, or we can't cancel it, or I'm sick," he's gonna look like a fucking fraud.
Oh my god, yeah. Terrible.
He already is a fraud, so
right.
Whatever. Rubbernecking.
So I got a story about this. I'm so out. It's not any fun. So if you don't know, rubbernecking is when you're driving on the highway and something even as simple as like a police car is pulled over another car, and you need to basically come down to a halt to see what the hell's going on. So I'm driving to work yesterday. Up at the hub, and on the other side of the highway on 24, there's a car and fully engulfed in flames. Like whatever. I understand. Like hopefully everyone's safe. I'm sure you haven't seen this, and then this is the most interesting thing that's happened to you in the last 9 weeks of quarantine. But there's literally people on my side of the highway pulled over on the road to get out and videotape this. What the hell are you doing? Let's move on. You're acting like a caveman. Ooh, fire! Like the big yellow fire.
I have fire.
Unbelievable. Like, let's move. You idiots. Go have a bonfire in the back. Then you can see a fire. You dummies. This is the highway 65. Let's move. So.
All right. I have been a victim of rubbernecking. You come from a distance. I come from a distance to go to Dorchester, Mass. But the rubbernecking over anything nowadays, the rubbernecking over a flat tire, the rubbernecking over someone changing a tire, the rubbernecking of someone, with their hood open, the rubbernecking of a little small accident, the rubbernecking of anything. They could be like anything. Just, it's got to stop. I think what we could do is rubbernecking is like some sort of penalty. Like, if you rubberneck, you can get like a citation.
$250 fine.
No, like,
and I'm being generous.
The problem is that the first rubbernecker is like the telephone game, right? Like, you start something and someone else starts it, but like the first rubberneckers, if you rubberneck first, you're out. Like
you're going to prison.
No, not prison. There's just we got to find a way to stop rubberneck. You nosy bastards. That's what you are. You're all nosy.
Literally people that want to watch the world burn. And that's what happened yesterday. As someone else's property is burning, I'm going to get out and videotape this because I don't care about my surroundings and people around me. Going to get out on the highway.
You ever notice there's an accident? You're like, okay, what the hell's going on right now? And then you slowly go and you're like, oh, there's an accident. And then all of a sudden you're going 80 again.
Yeah. And then everyone wants to hit 90. Like, what are we doing? So listen, I usually don't get road rage. Like, someone cuts me off, I'll beep, I'll give them the finger, whatever. But like, you move on. When I find out that traffic is almost at a halt on the highway, and then I realize it's someone changing a tire, like you said, on the side of the road, I'm viciously yelling in my car, and I look like a madman. I'm like, this is why we're going 20 on Route 24, you assholes. And I'm going nuts to myself. Like, I'm yelling at the whole world. And like, that's what pisses me off on the road more than anything. These stupid nosy people, just go to where you need to go. Don't worry about everyone else, you idiots.
Oh, I have issues with driving very often.
Yeah.
The weather conditions. What else is there? People in general. They all drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Rubbernecking, we should do something to
some kind of penalty. I totally agree.
Something. I don't know what we can do. But I think some sort of maybe like instead of those stupid signs that say use your blinker, maybe you can say stop rubbernecking.
Yeah, rubber. Awesome. Love it.
Mason Sousa series from 98 Feather Sports Hub. We're going to do the quarantine in a minute here, but you have a television show. You had a guest from the Ravens on last week. Tell everybody about it.
Yeah, so I had an incredible opportunity. Eric DeCosta, general manager of the Baltimore Ravens, was on my show, Straight Facts Homie. We're on Twitter, SFH Football.
Did I call it Straight Cash Homie? What did I call it?
You said Facts.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, Straight Cash Homie is obviously a play on Randy Moss's. And the show name was a joke in the first place. We went through like 100 names and they were all taken. And I'm like, Straight Facts Homie. They're like, all right, let's do it. I'm like, really? So yeah, we've been doing 7 seasons, and I spoke with past principals and superintendents of Taunton, Massachusetts, because someone brought up the idea. I think it was superintendent of Taunton High Schools, Mr. Cabral, saying like, hey, you guys should have Eric DeCosta on. I'm like, do you have his number? Like, I didn't even know he was from Taunton. So he talked to someone who talked to someone, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, let's do it. Like, so yeah, this past week, you can find it on my Facebook, on Twitter, on everywhere, or on Spotify, YouTube, Straight Facts Homie. We had like a 30-minute conversation with the GM of the Ravens. It was crazy. It was a really cool experience. Like I said, he's from Taunton. So like we talked about his roots, and I asked him about Antonio Brown, since he was, wearing a Ravens uniform. I had to be a reporter.
If you're going to have somebody on, you got to ask the hard-hitting questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, I'm not, we're not grab-assing for 30 minutes. We may, for 5 minutes.
What was his answer? You only want to talk about people that are on the team?
Essentially. So I led into it kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, he was on Snapchat wearing a Photoshop Ravens uniform. Is that just Antonio being Antonio, or do you want to break some news right here for all of us? He laughed at it, and then he's like, well, yeah, there's a lot of players out there that we're really interested in, and we're happy with our team. And then at the end, he kind of put the kibosh on it. He's like, right now where we stand, we're happy with our team. So I think that's a no. But I mean, then again, that could change next week. So we'll see. But yeah, it was fun. Straight Facts Only. Appreciate it.
Taunton Television?
Yeah. So Taunton Community Access Station. That's where
people can find that on what?
So all the videos go to Vimeo, which is like what the the formal YouTube. So yeah, just search Straight Facts Homie, and you'll find past videos there. Like I said, on Facebook, on Twitter, Straight Facts Homie. Search that, and you'll be able to find past videos, all that.
All right, this is the final segment of the show here. What we do is I gotta look for it, and I want the music. Quarantine. Things that you have been doing during quarantine. I've asked everybody these questions, so it's your turn. What shows have you been watching during quarantine?
So I've been trying to get up as much with Dark Side of the Ring. Trying to go back to past episodes and watch all that stuff. Very
It's really
interesting
good.
stuff. Oh yeah.
Hey, just real quick on that. Chris Jericho, I think, is outstanding. And this
As
week,
the narrator, yeah.
he actually tweeted out he thinks right now he is the most or the best wrestler in the world. Or the best entertainer, something to that degree.
Okay.
And I agree. What he's doing at AEW, what he's done in the year at AEW, the La Champion, and what he's done for like Sammy Guevara and the Ortiz brothers and Jake Hager, and then being on commentary, during the quarantine, I think he's been outstanding. And dude, did you watch the Benoit documentary?
Yes.
Okay, he's a fucking angel. He brought Benoit's son and Nancy's sister and brought them together.
Yeah.
After years of just sadness. And it was wrestling that brought them together. But it was Jericho that initiated it. And I just that's something that Jericho loves wrestling. He loves all these people that they're talking about, the Dr. D stuff. The guy who started the what is it, the Wrestling Federation last week.
Herb Abrams, yeah.
Yeah, the guy is a pioneer. He's a trailblazer. And I think he's the best going right now in professional entertainment.
I mean, when it's all said and done, he may be the best ever, Joe. I mean, a guy that has transformed and adapted and got his stuff over the decades. It's really unprecedented. So
Japan, WCW, ECW, WWE, Japan again. Knowing all what he did in
New Japan. You're going in order, okay.
All right. Yeah, and then now in AEW,
unbelievable.
The dude's in a band, right?
Since what, 2000, and he's doing all this. Unbelievable.
It really is unbelievable. Anything else you're currently binging?
I mean, whenever I wake up, my wife has on the Travel Channel, and it's all ghost shows. But so I mean,
I'm a big Ghost Adventures fan.
Ghost Adventures is
Zach
yes.
Zach Bagans.
He's good. He can be a prick sometimes. He's definitely a prick, but he's good. He's good at what he does. I enjoy that show. And honestly, that's pretty much it. I've been playing a lot of FIFA. So I'm trying to get better at that.
So you're like an all sports guy, and then whatever the wife watches. Like me, I've been watching Dave. Insecure is a really good show for those who like that.
Okay.
Dark Side of the Ring. Every week I'm watching Dark Side. But I do need a new show. I watched The Sopranos all over again. I'm pissed. I don't know why I do that to myself. I don't know why.
You got to have someone from The Sopranos on.
So, dude, I'm working on it.
Are you?
I'm working on that.
Hell yeah.
I'm working on it.
There you go, man.
That's all I can. I have a connection already, but I don't know if I want to have them. Well, I shouldn't say that.
All right.
Maybe.
Just hold on to it.
Fuck it. Maybe I will.
Oh boy. What do you got?
Well, no, I mean, I'll tell you off the air.
Oh, okay.
But I used to work with a guy that was on The Sopranos.
That's awesome.
So maybe I'll have him on.
Absolutely, you should. That's awesome. Yeah, and get to the bottom. What the hell's up with that final episode? It pisses me off still.
I was going for a Christopher type. Stevie Van Zandt. Maybe Gandolfini's son to tell us about the prequel.
Oh.
I was thinking that kind of
It's a top 5 show of all time. You absolutely anybody from that in that production needs to be.
Were you a Game of Thrones fan?
I got into it, and then obviously, the majority of people, last season was rushed and it was terrible. But
did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so that was my favorite show. That
of all time.
I'm not into medieval bullshit. I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
Like swords and I like the Patriot. Like, but I'm not into like medieval times. I just don't care.
Right.
That show is amazing.
Yeah.
And it ended. And when it ended, I never talked about it again. Yeah, but how many people do you think people have rewatched Game of Thrones during quarantine?
That's a good question. I don't
Because
I'm sure some people, but
I'm still disappointed from The Sopranos from 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone's so pissed with how it ended. They're like, screw this show.
We don't know how it ended. It's whatever you want it to think how it ended, and I hate that.
Right.
Game of Thrones, I know how it ended, and it sucked.
And it sucked. Right.
And like Lost, I love Lost. Every week I'd watch Lost, and I'd be like, what's up with these polar bears? And this black smoke. And they're on an airplane, and this is from the future or the past. And then like like season 2, I'm like, is this about Jesus and God and the devil?
You're like, what is going on here?
And then all of a sudden it's about Jesus, God, and the devil. And I'm like, fuck this. I was pissed. That show still pisses me off. Anyways, quarantine.
Don't get Joe Drake upset. You don't want to do that.
I'm upset. What are your go-to snacks right now?
Good one. Actually, surprisingly, for the first time in a long time, actually taking this time to try to eat healthy. Not to brag or anything, but
what are you eating? Carrots and ranch?
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. But no, I know you have a vegetable story that you told this past week. But we can talk about it in a second. But I've been putting frozen berries, mangoes, banana, spinach.
Yeah. Okay. I like creamy spinach.
And some coconut water in a blender. Delicious smoothie.
Oh.
So I've been drinking that once a day. It's pretty good.
Smoothie.
Yeah.
Smoothie guy, huh?
Yeah. Trying to. That's how you get your vegetables. Put it in a smoothie. Just
I like the fruity ones.
Yeah.
Just give me like the strawberries, the bananas, the fucking whatever. You just mix that shit up and I'll drink it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
the way to go. That's the way to go.
What is your favorite frozen food?
Frozen food. I mean, when this whole thing started, when I realized, it's funny, when I was in the store when I got the notification that NBA season suspended. So that's when I lost my mind. I'm like, all right, I'll buy $250 of things. And everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy because this is somewhat in the beginning. But I got like 5 frozen pizzas and Freschetta brick oven.
Oh, yes.
Is the shit.
Yes. Yes, I've had it. It's very good. Yes, I already ate all my frozen pizzas.
Yes, same.
But DiGiorno was one of them. And
DiGiorno's good, yeah.
And then I got these. I don't know the name of the brand, but they're French bread pizzas.
Yeah, is it Stouffer's or is it?
Might be Stouffer's.
Yeah, those are good.
Out of nowhere came the Celeste pizzas. Remember the Celeste pizzas? You put them in the microwave for 4 minutes.
Of course.
They suck now. As a kid, they were fantastic.
Yeah, isn't it funny how like things are amazing as a kid and you try them now, you're like, what is this?
Like Hot Pocket. I haven't had a Hot Pocket in years, but I guarantee they're really good still. Or like pizza rolls. Yeah. Remember the Tostino pizza rolls?
What about a Lunchable? Would you ever try a Lunchable?
I would crush a Lunchable. I'd pour it in my mouth. You know what I mean?
I would get the pizza one. I like make that tiny little pizza.
So it's funny, yes. But I tell people the story, but I grew up in the city of Boston. So when I went away to camp, they would literally send us government food. Like it would come in a plastic bag with like an apple, a milk, and like a sandwich. And like I would have to eat that sandwich. And I would see the kids who got lunch brought with them eating fucking Lunchables. And I'd just like look at them. And I'd be like, you want to switch?
Yeah, right.
And we'd have the government banana as well. I'm telling you, anybody who went to camp in the city of Boston knows what I'm talking about. About the fucking fruit, the milk that they gave you, and the sandwich. And I don't know why the sandwich always came with a mustard package. I'm out on mustard, but I don't know why it always came with it.
Well, there you go. I'm glad it doesn't still hang up with you today.
The Lunchables. I'll fucking crush those things. I'll swim in a Lunchable.
So there was Lunchables, and then there was another one, but my mother never got them for me because like the sodium was over 1,000. I forget the name of it. It was like, you know how it came with the kids meal and then the mega kids meal. It was something like that. It was mega Lunchable or something. But yeah, that was a little too much. But yeah, Lunchables and Dunkaroos. Dunkaroos were the best.
They're making a
thing when I was
comeback.
10 years
I heard,
old. Are
I heard-
they?
Yep. You know what?
This is the most excited I've been.
So I'm asking. I'm sharing this with you. My go-to snack during quarantine has been Welch's fruit snacks. You know, they come in like a little package or whatever.
Yeah.
You can buy two packages of them. That come in a box. I think 12 come in a box.
Okay.
And 2 for $4 at Market Basket.
No kidding.
So you live in Taunton. Is there a Market Basket out that way?
There is.
Okay.
There is.
So I don't know why, but for some reason near Boston, there's no Market Basket. But you have to go either north or south to find a damn Market Basket. But yeah, Market Basket 2 for $4. And then I saw this week big bags of Gushers.
Ooh.
And Gushers. Fruit by the foot.
So I was 6 years old when a Gushers commercial came on, and I was scared to death of it because the kids would eat the Gusher and their head would turn into a watermelon. And I'm like, so my mother got him one day, and I guess she knew I was scared of it. She's like, "Come on here, have a Gusher," and I was like on the verge of tears. I'm like 6 years old, like, I don't want to turn into a grape. So she's like, just eat the damn thing. So I did, and then I realized I'm like, oh, this is good, and my head's still normal.
I love sugar. Like I'm like, I love sugar.
Who doesn't?
There's some things I don't eat anymore. Like I don't eat donuts anymore.
Yeah, donuts are tough.
I love them, but it just sits. It's like, you ever see Tommy Boy when he goes, "Yeah, I got kind of a thing. It just sits right here."
Yeah,
that's me when I have donuts.
I don't know if it's an urban myth or something, but it takes
days to digest,
10 days a week or whatever to digest a donut.
No.
Yeah, I'm Boston cream, unbelievable. But donuts are tough if you're addicted to them.
I'm a glazed. Glazed
are good.
Final thing, and you brought up the story. The most obscure purchase you've made or thing you've done during quarantine. Mine is I did Instacart. Like I could just put on my mask, gloves, and go to the fucking store.
Yeah.
But I was like, nope, I'm going to try it out. And of course, they gave me a box of, you should see my fridge. It's still there.
Tell us.
It's still there. So there's a box of baby spinach. Like a lot of spinach in there.
And you didn't order it?
Nope. There's a head of fucking lettuce, like a bowling ball, like a legit bowling ball of lettuce. And then a head of broccoli, which I could cut up and boil or whatever. I could do that. Put some butter on that shit. And then fucking like 6 avocados.
Who are you, Tom Brady? What's going on here?
What, did they see my name? Do they know who I am?
Yeah, they're like this.
Did they want to fuck with me? Because, dude, I'm pissed. I'm still pissed. I just went in my fridge and I saw the head of lettuce, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking go bowling with this thing. I want to throw the thing.
Yeah, softball.
I want to throw it, but I'm still pissed off.
I'm surprised you haven't thrown it out in protest. Well, in the middle of the street.
Maybe the lady will use it. I don't know.
So funny story. You used this as your musings on Thursday on the Sports Hub, and I told you as the show was ending, like, I have something for when we speak, and I didn't tell you. I want to save it. So fitting that this will be the last thing or one of the last things. I've actually been a delivery for Instacart. Well, not Instacart, but it's actually called Shipped. It's similar. I've been grocery shopping for people. But so this person sucks, apparently, that you've been dealing with.
Wait,
I would never do something.
This is a real thing. So, like, is it kind of like Uber? Like Uber Eats? You just go pick it up.
You go to the grocery store.
But you go, and now, how do you pay? Is there do they give you a card, or do you pay?
They give you a prepaid card. So you sign up, and you get like a welcome package. I get a shirt. Actually, I should have worn it. Not that, I love this company so much, but it's a nice side hustle. It's not bad.
You want to work. You want to work at the Sports Hub and make money elsewhere.
Thank you.
You want to work in your own time.
Thank you to everyone who's been tipping. You've been amazing. Like I've had 10 orders, and everyone has been fantastic.
I gave a 20% tip because I thought maybe they'd fucking do well.
I thought I don't know. They do what was on the shopping list.
And I'm sorry, I'm not to
go back.
But I ordered a 12-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper. and I never got it.
Never got it. But you got avocados, so there you go.
I don't need what am I going to do with an avocado? How do you even eat an avocado? What the fuck are avocados? Like if I put it in the freezer, do I put it in my ice cream? How the hell do I eat it?
Throw it in a blender, maybe. See if it blends. I have no idea. No clue.
But anyway, so you've shipped.
I've shipped with shipped. Yes, I've delivered orders, and I've been going up 24. You know, majority of them are up near Boston, but there's one in Bridgewater. There's one in Stoughton. They call it zones. So I set my zone for that area. And yeah, like Uber, it comes up and be like, all right, accept this order, whatever. It's going to take an hour and a half. And then I show up and, you know, you got to be in contact with this person. This person that you dealt with should have said like, hey, I'm terribly sorry. Let me contact, you know, my, you know, the main headquarters. Let me see if I can get this right.
Oh, I said, you brought me a bag that's not mine and I want my soda. Here's my phone number and nothing.
And nothing. That's terrible. You got to respond. Be like, listen, because you're working for that tip, man. Like I'm terribly sorry, and you still left a tip. You're an incredible tipper. We've talked about this on past shows, I believe.
I overtip. I know what it is.
Even when they suck.
No, but you know what it is. Oh, there's something about that. This isn't a pat myself on the back. I'm a good tip. No, it's just that like I don't feel like sometimes if it's 20%, right? Sometimes it's like $7. And I'm like, $7 for all that work? I'm like, I can't. Like, dude, I'm not getting out of bed unless it's $25.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like, I know some people are like, oh, dude, $20. Like, $25. Like, it's gotta be worth it for me to move for 20. Like, I can't even fill my gas tank in my fucking 8-passenger car for $25. Do you know what I'm saying? So
even
like
now?
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Now they're like paying me to buy gas.
Exactly.
But yeah, like for me to move, man, I need a 15, maybe 15, $20.
Yeah.
But that's why I do it. I'm like, man, these people are working their asses off, and I don't know. But hey,
you're a good dude.
It's just what you got to do, I guess, these days.
And
I've been tipping on takeout a lot lately.
Yeah. I actually, honestly, I haven't had takeout yet, surprisingly, because I got so much shit. And I'm one of my hobbies or things I've been doing. I'm actually turning into an okay cook.
He's cooking.
Not to you know, pat on my back or anything, but I'm cooking in the house and getting the hang of this adult life. But yeah, you got to tip, not takeout, because obviously no one's in house. So.
Dude, I watch cooking shows. Like if Triple D's on, I'm fucked. But but dude, like there's Carol Bellinelli or whatever the hell her name is, Bertinelli, and there's this girl meets farm girl, and every time she cooks, I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like one day I might cook. Like
you
one
watch
day.
These,
go ahead.
Sorry, these tasty videos or what's the, you know, those things on Twitter, like, you know, those 1 minute, 2 minute things. But some of these things are 4 minutes and they're doing it in fast motion, fast speed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is way too much work. I'm like, this is delicious and everything, but like, this is so much work and you got to freeze it for an hour. Like, listen, just give me a 3 recipe thing and let's move on.
I saw some omelet thing made the other day and I'm like, I can do that. And I'm like, yes, maybe I'll try. And then I saw how to make these chocolate covered Oreos the other day. Ooh. And I'm like, whoa, I can do that. So that's my problem is when I watch these shows and I get fucking hungry.
Oh yeah. It's tough when you're hungry. You like, especially when you go to a grocery store hungry, you're screwed.
Mason Sousa.
Please no.
Mason Sousa.
Sous chef. I can make a mean pumpkin pie.
Ooh, you know who likes pumpkin? Mel Kiper.
Oh yeah?
Look it up.
Okay.
It also helps you poop. All right, we'll end it there today.
That's
He's Mason Sousa. Mason Sousa.
Yeah, tell him I can meet it.
98 Father Sports Hub. He's also Straight Facts homie out in Taunton on Vimeo. You could see him there as well. Appreciate you joining the show, Mason. It was fun.
I appreciate you, Joe. Really, 90 minutes. This thing flew. This is crazy.
It flew by. There he is. Mason Sousa 1. Don't forget the 1.
Thank you.
Because I've done that.
You're talking to other Masons.
That's right.
In Europe.
Do you want to be a Freemason? What the hell is a Mason? Anyways, just sitting here on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes. That's where you can check this out, Mason. You can send it out to all your friends. You could send it out for all the job interviews at 98.5 The Sports Hub and across the country that you would like. Of
course I will.
And that is it for me today. I'm going to wrap up. Bird appreciates the both of us. So thank you.
Hey, thank you, Bird. Appreciate you.
Bird. Anywho. All right. I'm getting out of here, Mason. It was fun.
See you, Joe.
I'm just sitting here. Again, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes. Tomorrow's guest, Big Jim Murray. How about that? Murray to Murray.
Get it.
It should be good. I can't wait to hear this. And Mace is on the case.
Ooh.
As Sean Silver sends us out today. All right, everybody. Again, tomorrow, noontime. Just sitting here. I'm Joe Murray. We'll talk to you then. Thank you very, very much. We'll see you on Tuesday.